Hi guys, welcome to our daily encounter. As we think about all the care and the trouble and the work that it took in moving the tabernacle, and we could say even in erecting the tabernacle and also taking the tabernacle down, all the time and energy that was put into this tabernacle, we might wonder and say, why didn't the Lord just wait until they made it into the promised land and then give them instructions for building him a place to dwell? Where they're at in the wilderness, it's a little bit of distance to the promised land, but if they traveled quickly and they made a beeline to the promised land, it wouldn't be that far or that long, and then the Lord could set up his dwelling place among the people and everything would be great. But it's a very interesting thing that the Lord didn't want to wait till then. He wanted to dwell with his people there in the wilderness. He wanted to be in their presence during the difficulties of the wilderness experience. And he wanted to travel with them everywhere that they went, even before they entered into the promised land. And this gives us a wonderful truth, because we could say the same thing about ourselves. We know that when we go into heaven and then ultimately in the new heavens and the new earth, we'll experience the presence of God. And we'll experience it in a way we never experienced it before. And we know that that is our hope, that we will be able to experience the presence of God, and we'll be able to see the Lord face to face, as 1 John chapter 3 teaches us. And we'll be able to know the Lord in a way that we could never know him here on earth. And we might wonder, why not just wait till then? Why is it that the Lord even promises his presence even in this life, even in this world, even while we are still connected to this earth? Why is it that he dwells with us now? And we would say, well, we need his presence. We need him with us every moment. Even though our lives are short, and even though our time here on earth is short, still, while we're here, we need the Lord's presence. And I'm sure the Israelites would have said the same thing. Yes, we do hope they could say for him to dwell with us in the promised land, but we need him here in the wilderness. We need him during the challenges of this wilderness experience. We need him to journey with us. We need him to abide with us. It was one of the things that they lamented the most whenever they had worshipped the golden calf. One of the things that they feared the most was that the Lord wouldn't go with them. And they wanted the Lord's presence, and they saw how wonderful and precious it was to have God's presence, even though it might cause a little bit more work. It might cause a little bit more, energy and time to maintain the presence of God in that journey. Still, they valued and they knew the importance of having God's presence with them. And the same thing is true with us as well. To abide in the presence of God here in this life, yes, it takes some work, it takes some trouble, it takes some energy and some time to center ourselves on God, to set our minds on things above, to set our minds on the Spirit, to maintain a good and consistent prayer life. All of this takes a lot of work and a lot of energy, but we would say it's well worth it. It's well worth it, even though it might be for this short little span of time, which is called our life. It's still well worth it. And even though we know that we'll have an even greater experience of his presence when we enter our Canaan land, when we enter our promised land, still we value God's presence today. And so we should recognize this and say, you know what? Whatever it takes for me to abide in the presence of God, it's worth it. If it means me carving out time today to abide in the presence of God, let me do it. If it means saying no to certain things that I would otherwise want to do, so let it be. I'm going to do whatever it takes to abide in the presence of God today and to walk in the awareness of his presence today, because I know that I need his presence today. It's not something to wait for in the future per se, but it's something I need today. It's the means by which I receive joy and peace and comfort and all the things that I need in this life as I make this journey in my own wilderness experience. And so let's value the presence of God today. And let's value it so much that we would be willing to do whatever it takes to abide in the presence of God today, and to know that it is what will carry us through this journey. It's what will help us to get through the trials and the difficulties of this life. And we know that it will give us also a foretaste of future blessings to come. So these are some things we can reflect on and think about as we do our reading today. With that, guys, I do thank you for watching the video today. Hope you guys have a great day. Love you guys. God bless.